Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here. So the monsoon now running about 3 weeks late behind schedule. Typically it arrives by July 1st. We just haven't seen that happen, but it's on the way. Better late than never. So behind me, this is water vapor satellite imagery. Now where you see a lot of the oranges and the reds, that represents drier air aloft. Now the opposite, you can see some of the whites and the blues beginning to bubble up. Look at the rotation on this clockwise rotation around this area of high pressure. That represents, and we're curling that moisture, we're moving it up, and within the atmosphere, that's what's going to be developing into this monsoon surge. It'll start in the desert southwest, and it's going to spread to other areas across the Rockies. So who's impacted? Here are the details. Monsoon's late. We're going to see a gradual increase in moisture from here on out, 7:26 and after, with the bigger surge coming the first week of August. Who's impacted? Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado. Why does all of this matter? Well, let me show you. Colorado, flashes per day of lightning. Look at the increase in July and August. We maximize lightning in the months of July and August during monsoon season. It's because of monsoon season. So what happens is, I talked about that moisture that's going to be increasing in the atmosphere. That will fuel afternoon thunderstorms. It will fuel more of them, more frequent, more widespread, and they may pack hail, gusty winds, and a lot of lightning, in some cases deadly lightning. And you can see why it matters there in Colorado. What happens during monsoon season is, because of all this extra moisture, it makes storms more likely that could start earlier in the day and last longer into the night, effectively shortening a lot of weather windows for recreation in the outdoors. Why has this been happening so far? Why has the monsoon been blocked? Well, here you go. Look at the jet. The subtropical jet has been abnormally strong and acting like a lid on a pot. It's blocking the monsoon from advancing north. The high pressure in that position for so long, this was back in July, for so long had shut it down. This was the jet pattern, and for most of July, for most of June, and in fact early July. So it's been in place for a long time. But look what's going to happen now. Here's the change. Boom. Whole pattern breaks. Jet moves north. Opens the door. This is valid on the 2nd of August. So we've got winds coming in from the south, out of the Gulf, and from the Pacific. That's escorting all this new moisture, and it's being allowed to happen at all levels of the atmosphere. The end result, let me show you. So this is the increase in moisture. You can see a definitive plume right there. A definite plume of moisture. And you can see it in green right there. That's the increase in moisture coming in. And that's valid the 31st of July. So that's the initial surge. But here's the bigger surge. Look at all that green and even blue representing 1 to 300% of normal moisture. Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, all those places. And this is valid on the 2nd of August. So we start with a gradual increase in moisture on or after 7:26, and then it grows and it gets bigger that first week of August. For example, here's a specific. This is moisture at about 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. So this takes you at a very nice even level, even over all the mountains in most places here in Colorado. It's totally green. If I were to show you what it looked like today, it'd be mostly brown. So by the time we get into that, and this is valid the 3rd of August, by the time we get into that first week of August, we're saturated. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms, small weather windows, and bigger risks for recreation. So that's what's on the way at this point. And again, that's valid that first week of August. So it's on the way. While the monsoon has been late and been very weak in most places, there's a lot of reasons why that could be. The most obvious one to me is El Nino. In El Nino years, you tend to get a disruption of the monsoon. Another question that came into me was, if it's late to start, does that mean it's going to last longer? So typically monsoon season runs July 1 to August 31st. If It's possible it lasts a little bit longer, but typically it ends by around the 31st of August. Sometimes it creeps into the first week of September, but the answer to the question is not necessarily. Just because it starts late doesn't mean it's going to end late. So guys, thanks for tuning in here. Always appreciate it, and take care.